We're live.
So weird.
We're doing it live.
So weird. Hi, everybody.
Luna, introduce your show while I get everything set.
Everybody, I am Luna and welcome to my Mooncast. Today I'm gonna talk about socialism and Vietnam. Interesting, I hope.
No, it's socialism and what is it? Socialism with Vietnamese characteristics with the question mark. This is your stream elements, right?
Yes.
All right. What else do you need? Anything else?
I will find an article and I will share it and I will read it.
Okay, you got the plan. You got the agenda set. I will share this. I'll share this really quick on your Twitter, and then I'm gonna leave because I know that the toxic Luna Sibs don't want me here.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
I know. Discussing. Why don't you talk while I'm typing?
Oh yeah, forgot. Sorry. Sorry.
You're just like.
So today I didn't have a really intro or something because we just moved from EJ's patient only BreadTube live stream.
We were testing PeerTube, which might be coming to Luna Oi as well.
Yeah, right.
But PeerTube is a federated platform, and we already have non-compete being transitioned. We're building an instance at breadtube.tv. Well, the instance is breadtube.tv. Fuck. You can find us at breadtube.tv, which is a PeerTube instance. Let's put it that way. And then Luna Oi will be on there soon, and then we're going to be hoping to live stream there as well, because YouTube and Twitch are cracking down on leftists left and right.
Exactly.
But mostly left. Okay. Anything else you need from me? I've tweeted it. It's on Discord.
Your love. That's small. Still teeny tiny. Now that's acceptable.
That's the thumbnail. I'm sure you had a pained expression on your face.
No, I was just smiling. Hi everybody, welcome to Now, you need anything, you can go.
Very polite way to kick me off. I love you too, Carlos. Goodbye, Blue Swallow.
Aww.
Get out of my damn way!
Bye. Okay, getting back to my.
Give me my phone. Yeah.
I need this. I'm too short. I need this special chair. It means lộc. It is lộc. It means fortune, good fortune in Vietnamese. So hey everybody. Welcome to my Mooncast. As I said, the topic today is gonna be about socialism with Vietnamese characteristic, question mark. I want to talk a little bit about this too, because even though I made a video about socialism in Vietnam about a year ago, but there's still many people kind of confused about it and still ask me a lot of questions, and I think that after a year I have some new aspects that I want to add here too. Put it lower a little bit. Okay, that's good. Okay, the camera is shaking. No, don't move. Okay, okay, now. Oh really? Your shitty governor banned trans women and girls from sports today, so I'm feeling fucking peachy. Where are you from? I haven't heard of this. Okay, wait a minute. Before we really start, I want to show you this article. And I think that we should read this. I will read this online with you, and then I will explain to you. And if you have any question related to that article, just ask me. I will try to answer them all. Now, let me find it. Here, this one. Make it bigger a little bit. Okay, good. I want to share this. Share screen. Oh, this. No, I want to go to Chrome tab. I want to take this out and this here. Come on. Why? Suddenly it's like weird. Chrome tab. Where is it? Why it disappear? I don't understand. Cancel. Do it again. I'm sorry. I'm such a boomer. Chrome tab. Okay, good. Here it is. Here it is. A number of this. And something's wrong with this. With StreamYard today. I don't think it's my problem. See? It's so weird. It doesn't allow me to share. When I click the Chrome tab, it just disappears. And then like, what? Now I can share the whole screen though. Okay. Fine. Share it. Right. Okay. Add to stream. It's gonna be like this. I'm sorry, the screen is kind of... No. I have to call Isa. Isa, are you watching? Can you come here and tell me what I'm doing is wrong or something? Okay, now I will try it again. Choose Chrome tab. See, I can't even see any Chrome tab. Windows. Let's see. Okay, let's see. What about this? Okay. Kind of dumb, but okay, fine. Okay, it's like gonna be like this. Finally, I figured it out, comrades. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is my third time. I'm gonna introduce myself. It's just in case you're new here. I'm Luna. I'm a Vietnamese communist living in Vietnam, and I have my YouTube channel named Luna Ơi. And I talk about Vietnam. I talk about foods, culture, history, and also politics. And today I'm gonna explain to you a little bit about the socialism in Vietnam and our socialist past. And I'm sharing to you an article from our former president, Nguyễn Phú Trọng. He's now the General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam. And I do think that this article is important, and I think that you all need to read it if you want to learn about socialism and socialism with Vietnamese characteristics, if you want to put it that way. The name of the article is A Number of Theoretical and Practical Issues on Socialism and the Path to Socialism in Vietnam. By the way, our Nguyễn Phú Trọng, he's a professor, Doctor of Philosophy in Marxism-Leninism, in laws, and also as a scientific politics or political scientific or something like that. I forgot a lot of things right now, but lots of people love him. He's a great leader, a great thinker, and also a great philosopher. And here, a number of theoretical and practical issues on socialism and the path to socialism in Vietnam. All right. Professor Dr. Nguyễn Phú Trọng, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Vietnam, has written an article titled A Number of Theoretical and Practical Issues on Socialism and the Path Towards Socialism in Vietnam. Now, this is the full article. I want to move it a little bit so I can read it better. Yep. Good. Okay. Now, let's start. If I will stop, if I think that I need some explanation, or you can ask me a question in the chat and I will try to answer them all. Now, here. Socialism and the path to socialism in Vietnam is a truly fundamental theoretical and practical topic of great importance. It covers a broad array of diverse and complex issues under various approaches and require both painstaking and serious investigation and a deep and scientific stock taking of practice. By the way, I will send the link in the chat so you can check it if you want. Okay, that's the link. Here, within the scope of this writing, I would like to touch upon some aspects from Vietnam's practical perspective. I would only focus on answering the following questions. What is socialism? Yes, very important. Why did Vietnam choose the socialist path? How to gradually build socialism in Vietnam? And how significant have the đổi mới, the renewal, the đổi mới reforms, and the building of socialism been in Vietnam over the past years? And what are the issues facing this process? Okay, this is him, our former president Nguyễn Phú Trọng. Okay, continue. As we are well aware that socialism is usually understood in three aspects: socialism as a doctrine, socialism as a movement, and socialism as a polity. Each aspect has different manifestation depending on the world outlook and development level in the specific historical period. The socialism as referred to in this writing is a scientific socialism based on Marxism-Leninism in the world today. How, then, shall we define socialism and chart the course towards socialism in a manner suitable to the particular condition and characteristics in Vietnam? Now, this is very important because about a year ago, I also made a video, Is Vietnam Socialist? And I explained to you that the word socialism has many meanings. And in different frameworks, it's gonna be different. So, and of course, like, when I talk about the socialism and I explain what it means, what we mean when we say it, lots and lots of people, especially from the West, they just laugh or like they didn't believe it because they have a different definition of socialism. And here's the thing, most of them believe in the doctrine. It's like a list of checkbox, you know, and a country only be considered socialist if like all the boxes are checked, something like that. And it is really kind of annoying because because I can tell like their limitation in the knowledge. And when people like me trying to show them a broader, wider look, a broader look about socialism, they refuse to learn and they think that we are wrong. Like, wait a minute, like 97 millions of Vietnamese people are the wrong ones here. You, a random dude on the internet from the West who can't even start a revolution over here yet, and you think that we are the wrong one and you are the right one? Like, I'm not even saying that like you're right or we are wrong. I'm just showing like maybe a different definition and maybe it's worth listening. You know, like, well, it's very weird. Now, next paragraph. Here. Previously, while the Soviet Union and its constellation of socialist countries existed in the world, the question of advancing towards socialism in Vietnam seemed beyond doubt and implicitly validated. Yeah, it's right, true. However, after the collapse of the socialist model in the Soviet Union and many other Eastern European countries and the decline of the World Revolution, The advancement towards socialism was once again put into question and became the topic for every discussion, even drawing heated debate. Oh, so true. Did our former president watch those debate about is a country like socialist or not? Like holy fuck. And he's writing this to answer of the ding dongs in the West debating nonsensely about this. Okay. Now next paragraph. Anti-communism and political opportunists rejoins, of course, and seize that opportunity to spread misinformation and subvert the movement. Within the revolutionary rank, there are also those who wallowed in pessimism and faltered. Yes, I see this. I saw this by my own eyes. Some began to doubt the correctness and science of socialism and blame the dissolution of the Soviet Union on the errors of Marxism-Leninism and the choice of socialism as the way forward. Yeah, exactly. You have a question? Yeah, ask me. Oh, yeah. Wait. GTA and Apple channel, okay? Just say it. So, yep. So, anti-communists and opportunists, yes, they like jump in and suddenly, like they, as you see, they call a bunch of countries like Vietnam, like revisionists, authoritarianism, and they've been spreading disinformation, lies, and distortion about Vietnam for decades. The most obvious thing that you heard about us is human rights, democracy. It's like whenever we saw any article talk about, like, mention the word democracy and human rights, we were like, not again. It was so familiar with that stuff. Like, it's like just they just like repeat themselves again and again and again. And did I did make the memos. I did make memos. The mod, isn't it? I'm checking it again. Weird. Where's the chat? So my mod, you're not. Oh, because I'm not on my... Okay, got it. Be there in a few minutes. And I will... Memos, you'll be my mod in a very short time. Here. Where is... Trời ơi. Very annoying. I have to switch account and I go to my Lunar account here, and then I can make you a mod. Add moderator. Okay, done. Memos, you're my mod now. Okay, question. Lunar Western media says that, of course, young people in Vietnam are no longer interested in socialism. I think it's pure propaganda. What do you think of the public opinion on socialism in Vietnam? Woo! If you join a bunch of Vietnamese Facebook page communists talking about communism, a bunch of them, you see like millions of them. Like, no, it's absolutely propaganda. Of course, they are, especially before this pandemic. I talked about this a lot earlier too. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back to here. Before the pandemic happened, there was kind of a chant, kind of pretty big chant. Liberalism. A lot of Vietnamese turn into liberals and worship like bosses to want to be capitalist in the future, yeah. Because, like, of course, we were fed with the anti-communist Western propaganda every single day for decades. So, yeah. But when the pandemics happened, and we can see that the West is so, the capitalist world is so fucked right now. And Vietnam and some other socialist countries are doing pretty well. And it opened the eyes of a lot of people. Like, holy shit! So the West is actually not that good, and Vietnam is actually not that bad. And yeah, it's a good thing actually. And I am the member of a bunch of Facebook groups, communist groups. So there are a lot of them. They are anti-communist, of course, and they fucking nuts. But they're still small numbers, and more Vietnamese they become like hardcore communists, hardcore tankies. And also Vietnam is trying very hard to crack down on all the lies and disinformation too. By like, you know, when we passed a few years ago, 2015, 13, 15 or something like that, it was a big news of Vietnam. I made a video about that too. Human Rights Watch, isn't it? The army, the cyber army of Vietnam. When we finally we complete a law about the cyber security in Vietnam, we mostly to crack down anti-communist lies and disinformation, and the West like made so much a big deal out of it. Oh, wait a minute. I have a phone call and I need to take it. It's really important. Well, why sorry? 3 or 5 minutes?
I'm here. Just wait a moment. I'm coming. Hello. I'm standing in for Luna here. American Johnson. I don't know what to say. I guess Luna probably, I was watching, I think she kind of finished talking about this, but basically, yes, it's just propaganda. Deceptive propaganda. Not truthful propaganda. Sorry, I'm getting my bearings here. This was very emergencetic situation. And yes, I just made that word up. It was a nonce word. This was a complete waste of time.
I'm back.
Was the package for me?
Me, sorry. I just bought some seats.
Every time we get a package, it's for Luna. Every single time. I never get nothing.
Okay, what you been talking about?
I didn't say anything. This was all a complete waste of time and energy. I didn't even get any packages out of it.
Sorry. So okay, back. I just ordered some seat for my rooftop garden, you know. Okay, back to the Western propaganda about like how the young Vietnamese are not interested in socialism. They also lie that at in between the National Assembly and the government of Vietnam right now, the like liberals are it's like the strong and weak enemy tactic again and again and again if you think about it. So like on the other hand, on one hand they say that liberals and technocrat, you know, are getting stronger and stronger inside of the Vietnam National Assembly and the government of Vietnam. But also they say things like Vietnam control it, the Communist Party of Vietnam control everything. And now like we cannot do this, we cannot do that because it's a dictatorship. So like, so what do you mean? So are they liberals in our government or not? And are they getting stronger or not? How can they getting stronger when the Communist Party actually control everything? Like, if you think about it a little bit, you will see like the contradiction immediately. It's really weird. So, yep. Should we go back to the article? Yep. Here too. If you have any question, I'm checking the chat to make sure that I didn't miss any question. Asia invasion. Yeah, you're right. South Korea and Taiwan did it well too, though. But here's the thing. South Korea and Taiwan, they are much richer than Vietnam. I have to say that. And they are literally island. Are you kidding me? Taiwan and South Korea. One is peninsula and one is island. Like what? And also the way they did it, it costs a lot of money. Like they use app, they have this, they have that. Like they have a lot of money, capital to start with. And they still doing and okay, they have way less people than Vietnam too. Let's see how much, how back here. The Taiwan population. I'm not even I'm not shitting on Taiwan or South Korea, but I want you to show you critical thinking, dialectical materialism, how to collect the information and how to analyze the numbers so you can see the essence behind those things. Okay, so Taiwan, they have a 23.5 million people now. South Korea population. South Korea, they have 51 million people. Okay. The population of Vietnam is 97 million people. Okay. Now, South Korea COVID-19 cases. South Korea, they have 141,000 cases. Okay. 141,000 cases. Taiwan. They have 8,000.5 cases. Now Vietnam. Vietnam, we have a 7,400 cases. So despite the fact that we have a way more people than both countries, even combined together, we still have the least cases. And most of the cases came from the last wave. And on the fact that Taiwan and South Korea are way richer than Vietnam, they got a lot of help from the West, especially the ally of the US. Okay? And here's the fact. Countries and territories and area like South Korea, Taiwan, and even New Zealand got like pumped up a lot by capitalist propaganda outlets because they want to prove that like not just like socialist countries like Vietnam or Cuba or North Korea or Laos are doing, yeah, you know, like these capitalists are also doing well. And by doing well, if you really think about the population, the location, the money they have, how wealthy they are still like literally cannot comparable to countries like Vietnam or Laos or Cuba or North Korea. If you really think about it critically, okay? And I'm not even shitting them. They are doing a really good job, yes. But if they really want to compare, it's really pathetic. I have to say, it's fucking pathetic. They like the best they can do is still not as good, not as close as good as a poor socialist country like Vietnam, Cuba, or North Korea can do. Okay? And of course they got pumped up a lot because it served their agenda. And a lot of you like without really like investigated it to learn all the layers of the story, you just read the articles. And they read the title of the articles, and then they manipulate the information that they feed you. It's just like, oh, at first they even think that the countries like Vietnam, we are lying, you know, and like we don't have any transparency. Meanwhile, the country like the U.S., you have a full transparency, even though it's clearly that there's evidence that the local government, the states in the U.S. been like manipulating the number of the cases, and they even like don't report all the cases and something like that. It's really annoying. I have to say, like, when they see those misinformation and manipulation like this. Oh, that's super chat. Did I miss it? Wells for the 99%. Thank you so much. I love your name. Really appreciate the work you do and EJ both do. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you. Oh, that's super chat from Solenia too. Hi Luna, what businesses are still worker owned, given that the World Bank and IMF have pushed the knocking down on communist trade barriers? Mostly the worker owned are like in agriculture, farm and gardens, vegetables, rice, something like that. They also worker owned in what do you call it? Transportation. I forgot the word. Transportation. So like you have a car or you have a truck and you join a cooperative and then you rent your own truck, something like that, to working in that cooperative, and then you take the interest every month out or something like that. And also the small scale industry, such as like forgot the word. I'm sorry. In Vietnam, we have many villages that they focus on one job only, like making bamboo furniture, bamboo baskets, bamboo matches, something like that. We call it small scale industry. They are cooperative and they own their own means of production, and like the cooperatives help them to find customers. They join together, work together, find them customer, and share the contracts if it's too big for one family to have it. So yeah, they're mostly it. Oh, I'm missing a lot of question here. Well, what percent of industry is centralized by the government? I talk about this in my video about the union in Vietnam. Yeah, too. About 50% of the business in Vietnam are family owned, or family owned. About 30% are. Am I crazy now? About 30% are cooperative. Only about 8% are like, I'm so sorry, I forgot the numbers. It's usually my strong point, my special ability to remember this. About 8% of businesses are state-owned. I remember this really well. 8.6 or 8.4% of business are state-owned businesses. About something like that. More than a half of the business in Vietnam are family owned. I'm reading the chat right now. Oh my gosh. South Korea and Japan did it well because they have the US funding them back then. So if South Vietnam won, they will have that sweet US money. Oh, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? What? A sweet... I mean, yeah, that's the main, the main point.
Just tell people to watch your labor video.
Yeah.
Your labor video has all those numbers in it.
Exactly. Please go watch my union video.
Your videos more, Luna. Pump those vids.
Sorry, I'm not a really good capitalist marketer.
You would be a capitalist to share information.
Sorry, go watch my union video, and I have all the numbers lined up for you and all the sources you want to fact check.
Second most recent video. Also, look at if you want to compare like Vietnam's.
It's very hot, so like out.
If you want to compare Vietnam's COVID response to like Japan and South Korea, absolutely you have to look at the money they've spent. Vietnam has had like much less of a budget to work with.
We are way more effective. Way
and
more
per
effective.
capita, they've done much better by far. Taiwan has done well, but it's an island and they have a lot more money and they've had a lot more like technocratic solutions. Vietnam has done a very low tech, low cost, super effective job. I mean, it's just incomparable. It's incomparable. And they've done an amazing job given the restraints they've had. I mean, it's just not even, it's not even fair. It's not even a fair comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, the only country that I can think of, like Taiwan and New Zealand have done similarly, but they're both islands and they both have smaller populations and they both have a lot more money.
I have to say, South Korea also an island.
Kind of.
Peninsula.
I mean, it's not really an island, but yeah.
And like, yeah.
They have a lot more money.
New Zealand is literally island and Taiwan also literally an island.
Like you share a huge border with
Japan also
Cambodia.
literally an island.
And look at all the outbreaks that have come through into Vietnam have been from people, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are people coming, you know, illegally across your border.
Yeah, rich bastard.
Yeah. That's the funny thing too. Like the people who come to Vietnam illegally are like super wealthy.
Oh. They are not
like
illegal immigrant like as in the U.S. Like the poor people, their
like
family
rich
got destroyed.
gangsters who come in to like gamble and take vacations and stuff. It's bizarre.
They paid like about $1,000 just for a private van to bring them from north to south of Vietnam so they can sneak out.
It's bizarre. Anyway, all right. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay. I cannot take you serious, GTA and Apple channel. Your arguments are literally very ding dong. Okay? Okay. Now continue the article, I guess. Back here, add to the stream. Now we've been talking about the anti-communism and political opportunists to rejoice and seize the opportunity to spread misinformation, and I just mentioned to you a bunch of those. Okay, next episode, next paragraph. From this premise, they believe we have chosen the wrong way and must march on another path, the capitalist path, by the way. And some echo the hostile argument. Disparaged and criticized socialism and indulged in one-sided praise of capitalism. Of course. Some even claim the repentance for having had faith in Marxism and socialism. But is this the truth? Is it true that capitalism today, including those long-standing capitalist countries, are still growing well? Has Vietnam chosen the wrong way? Now, that's really good question here. Do you really think that capitalist countries like the wealthiest nation on earth, aka the United States of fucking America, is doing a good job now? Including the UK too. Holy shit, and Canada. Like, they just found a mass grave of like 250 indigenous people got like buried there. For how long? Like the massacre nature of those capitalist nations. Okay? Do you really think that they are doing well in this pandemic especially? How many people died already? 3.4 million people died in the world because of COVID-19. And how many of them are actually from the West? Hey. Are you yeah. Let's continue. Okay, next part. We concur that capitalism has never been more global as it is today. Of course, because the West and propaganda and education system like been spending like millions and billions of dollars to indoctrinate you for decades. The Red Scare, quote unquote. Yeah, so of course it's super global as it is today and has achieved immense accomplishments, especially in liberating and developing the productive and capacity and advancing science and technology. Okay, remember, we are dialectical materialist people. So even though we despise capitalism, we hate it and we want to end it. It doesn't mean that we dismiss every maybe good things that they did for society. I have to say, let's continue. Many developed capitalist countries, building on their advanced economic foundation, also thanks to the struggle of the working class and working people, have made adjustments and set up considerable social welfare schemes that are more progressive than before. So, for example, like the UK, you have universal health care, and that's awesome. We haven't had any universal health care yet in Vietnam, and I really want the same thing, even though they are capitalists as fuck. Don't get me wrong here. Continue. Since the mid-1970s, and particularly after the dissolution of the Soviet Union, international capitalism spared no effort to adjust itself and promoted neoliberalism at the global scale in order to adapt to the new conditions. Oh, so true. For this reason, it is still able to grow further, yet capitalism still cannot address its innate and fundamental contradictions. Crises continue to break out. Most notably, in 2008 and 2009, we witnessed a financial crisis and economic recession starting in the United States. It then rapidly spread to other centers of capitalism and affected nearly every country in the world. Capitalist states and governments in the West injected huge amounts of money into their system to save transitional corporations, industrial, financial and banking complexes, and security markets, but they only gained limited success. And today we witness a multifaceted health, social, political, and economic crisis unfolding under the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic and the fourth industrial revolution. So here's the thing, capitalism is so incompetent. It cannot fix anything even though it has super loud mouth. But like it can do this like minimum. It doesn't mean that it cannot do anything. But it's so much waste of resources and money and human resources and time just to do so little thing. Because it only secures the wealth for corporations and rich, wealthy capitalists. It doesn't care about poor people. It doesn't care about the working class. Okay? It doesn't care about the global south. Back to the article. An economy in recession has unmasked social injustice within capitalist societies. The living standard of the majority of working people is falling dramatically while unemployment rises. It's so fucking true. If you're from the West, how do you say about this? What are you gonna talk about this? The rich-poor gap grows larger, exacerbating it's so hard. It's just a new word for me. Exacerbating antagonism and conflict among ethnicities. Look at what's going on in the U.S. right now. Like black people, brown people, Asian people. You know how many homeless people are there in the West? The rich are super rich, right? Like Jeff Bezos. He owns about like more than $100 billion. You cannot imagine how much this money is. Like he cannot. Even like we use that money we can use a part of that money only to end world hunger. For the rest of the money left, he still can live wealthy for the next 30 lifetimes. It doesn't make sense. Like how much greedy you need to be to own that amount of wealth. Meanwhile, the whole world is starving to death. Like scarcity. They are hoarding so much money and resources that they create a fake scarcity. We are making enough food for every single one on earth. We are making enough clothes for every single one on earth. And insulin and medicine are not that expensive because the scientist, the doctor who created insulin, he sold his invention for $1 only because he wanted his invention to help people in need in the world. He only sold his invention for $1 to pharmaceutical companies. And now the 5 biggest pharmaceutical companies in the West, in the US, they are fucking working together to make sure that the price will never get low. That's the capitalist competition that you want here. On paper and on propaganda and on article, of course, they always talk about like competition, how much competition is going to be good, so it's so good for society. But in fact, those capitalists, they have their own bourgeois democracy. They have their own socialism for themselves, where they actually work together to make sure that the price is going to be as high as possible, and nobody can break the price to sell a lower price. And it is you who have to bear the consequence. In Vietnam, for insulin, it's going to cost you only $14 for insulin for 3 fucking months. How much is it going to cost you a month in the US? Last time I checked, it's like $600 or $700 for a month only for insulin. Holy fuck, it is incredible. Like, and you think that, like, what? I'm so mad, I'm so mad right now. Luna Bezos just got another bailout around 10 billion. Meanwhile, he just bought another business for 9 billion. Oh, and you think that, you fucking, if they are any bootlickers here in this chat, do you really think that Jeff Bezos, he worked like, Jeff Bezos worked 100 billion times more than his own workers? Seriously? And he actually was 100 billion times more than you? If you really think that, think about it again. There's something wrong with you. Seriously. If you go watch EJ's latest video about the circulation, CM, the rap funny video. EJ, if you're watching, please send the link in the chat. Yes, it is really going to explain to you the misunderstanding between the workers and the capitalists about the MCM and the CMC mode of circulation. Okay, if you read Marx, of course, Marxism, the capital, you'll get it. For long story short, I will explain to you about it here because I studied this in university. So normal people like us, the workers, we follow this mode of circulation, the CMC, the commodity, money, and commodity. It means that, like, for example, I have a shirt, but I'm hungry. I want a sandwich. So I sell my shirt. So I get money. And then I can use that money to buy the sandwich that I need. Okay, and that's a CMC mode of circulation. Workers, they sell their labor because under capitalism, labor and time is also a commodity, a special kind of commodity, but it is a commodity. So we, the workers, we sell our labor and time to the capitalists, and we get monthly salary, weekly salary. That's the money here, and then we use that money to pay for rent, to pay for food, health care, clothes, all kind of stuff like that. And that is a CMC mode of circulation. Okay? Now, the biggest misunderstanding between the capitalists and workers is this. Workers, without the necessary knowledge, we also think that capitalists work under the same circulation, under the same mode of production. Okay, the mode of production. But no, they actually work under the MCM mode of production, and it is money, commodity, and money. It means capitalists, they started with money, and then they use money to buy commodities, and then so they can resell that commodity for a higher money, more amount of money, and it's called profit, the surplus value. Okay. For example, if you think about a bunch of billionaires in the world, like Donald Trump, especially Elon Musk, do you really think that they started from zero like us? We're born in a poor family and sell our own labor and time and earn what they have right now? Ridiculous. Donald Trump started with $1 million that he followed from his parents. Okay? Elon Musk, he started with the fucking emerald mine that his family owned in South Africa. They started with a shitload of money, and then they use that money to buy business. They have a Tesla and a bunch of hotels in the world, and they resell that to make more money. They don't care about the commodity. All they want is more money, and more money. So, workers, we work under the CMC motor production, and we actually create, a quality shift, qualitative shift. If you watch my video about dialecticism, you will know about this. Like, we sell our labor, we sell our time, and then we gain money, and then we can pay for our basic needs, such as housing, food, clothes, healthcare, and that's a qualitative shift right here. From our labor, from our time, we can make more, we can pay for our basic needs. But about the capitalist motor production, the MCM, there's no qualitative shift. It's all just quantity, and more quantity. They look at the real estate right now. They are 6 times more of like empty houses than the homeless people. Because why? Capitalists, they use their money and then they buy real estate. They build house with the hope that they can resell those land, resell those houses so they can earn more money. All they want is more money. They don't care. So that is why there are so many empty homes and empty houses right now. But there are also like homeless people. How many hundreds of thousands of homeless people in the West? It is how ineffective it is, how ineffective capitalism is, despite what they've been indoctrinated you to believe. I'm sorry, I just made a long rant about the ineffectiveness of capitalism, and I'm so freaking mad. So instead of advance our society, yes, capitalism actually regress society progression. We go back to the feudal time of the past, only more modern. So like instead of the wealthiest nation on earth, aka the United States of fucking America, you cannot have a universal health care. And your minimum wage, it's been, I don't know, 15, 20 years already, and your minimum wage was from like $7 to $7.5 in 15 fucking years, and you think that's okay? Like, man, the rich are getting richer and richer, and the poor, you have nothing from it. You think that's okay? Too? Continue. Where did I stop? Here. Instances of bad development and anti-development paradox have spilled over from the economic and financial domain into social life, igniting social conflicts. In many places, economic incidents became political ones. Economic incidents became political ones, yes, where waves of demonstrations and strikes would shake the entire regime. Reality has shown us that the free market of capitalism itself cannot help solve these problems. No, the individual hands cannot solve any problem because it doesn't fucking exist. Okay? And in many cases, even causes serious harm to poor countries and deepens the conflict between global labor and global capital. Yes, this reality also rips apart economic theories or development models that have long been considered as in vogue, okay? They were praised by bourgeois politicians and viewed as optimal and sensible by bourgeois experts. Talking about the fucking experts in The Economist, BBC, and fucking Reuters. I need to take a sip of water. The economic and financial crisis are accompanied by the energy and food crisis. The exhaustion of natural resources and the degradation of the environment and ecosystem. These are posing monumental challenges to the existence and development of mankind. They are the consequences of a process of economic and social development that crowned profit as a supreme end, that esteemed the possession of wealth and consumption of material as the yardstick of civilization, and that upholds individual interests as the pillar of society. Such are the core characteristics of capitalist modes of production and consumption. The ongoing crisis once again proved the economic, social, and ecological unsustainability of capitalism. According to many scientists, the present crises are impossible to be fully resolved within the framework of capitalist regime. Yeah. Somebody laugh about like, but Elon Musk earned his wealth. Yeah, right. He does. I'm old enough to remember David Stockman justifying shutting down the U.S. manufacturing. The service economy will absorb those workers. I'm glad Reagan's dead. I mean, it is really. Oh, I got a wow. A big donation from Pancakes and Hammers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your donation. There's no message, but I consider it as a solidarity. Thank you so much. Let's continue. And I'm checking the chat first to see. On Ronald Reagan's death day, best day of right. Hi, Roddy. Hi, Roddy. If you're new to the stream, I am talking about socialism and socialism with Vietnamese characteristics. Question mark, question mark, question mark. And this is an article written by our former president. He's now the General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam. He's really a tanky in a good way, and he's really a great thinker. He wrote a really good article about capitalism and about it like inherent contradictions. Here, check it out. Now continue. What I think about the New Green Deal thing, I think that it's like a band-aid to an open wound, you know? It's something, but it's not like everything. It's just like the electoral system, the electoralism in the US right now. The real thing we can do is to dismantle the state, you know? Have a revolution and end capitalism. The electoralism is just like a teeny tiny bit thing that you can do. And you know what? The best thing you can do is to vote for a neoliberal instead of a fascist. How much better is it right now under Biden? Again, the New Green Deal thing is the same. It shows like the minimum thing that the capitalists can do is absolutely not enough to cure the earth, the environment right now. But it's still struggling on having it. Like, what the fuck? And of course they use it for us like to ease us down. Like, oh, okay, don't think about the revolution anymore. You know, we have a Green New Deal thing now. It's just like, oh, forget about fascism, forget about Trump. We have a Biden in the office now. The fucking same thing. You know, like the two faces of one coin. maybe it sounds a little bit less words, but like in reality, is it really less words right now? So yeah, I don't have any hope for the new Green Deal. Maybe it's gonna buy maybe a few years in our lifetime, but absolutely not enough. And yeah, it just that's the way that capitalism always does, like whenever in a crisis time and people like the working class starting to wake up, realize the nature of capitalism and the inner contradictions that it cannot solve, they will throw you some like crumb, and like to ease you down. And it works a lot of time. I have to say, it works a lot of time, and it eases you down, make you like forget the real purpose that you're fighting for right now. It's just like you're having fucking COVID-19, you're dying, and then the capitalists gave you like maybe a painkiller, and hey, take this. You will forget the pain for a little while. So stop thinking about the virus. Same thing like that. Continue. The recent social protest movements flaring up in many developed capitalist countries have further exposed the truth about the nature of capitalist politics. In fact, democratic institutions in the mode of freedom and democracy, quote unquote, that the West spares no effort to promote and impose upon the world at large, not at all guaranteeing that power shall truly be of the people, by the people, and for the people. What democracy means at its core. Yes, do I still have to explain about this? About how much you always say that how much of freedom you have in the West, how much democracy in the West, and how fucked up it is right now. The freedom and the democracy in the West is for the bourgeois class, the capitalist class, okay? The governors, not for you, the people. So, what democracy means, okay, this system of power still belongs mainly to the wealthy few and serves the interests of large capitalist cartels. Oh, a tiny minority, even just about 1% of the population, possesses the vast majority of wealth and means of production, controls 3/4 of financial and knowledge resources and the mainstream mass media, and accordingly dominates the entire society. This is the root cause of the 99% versus 1% movement in the United States in early 2011, which has since spread like wildfire into other capitalist countries. The claim of equal rights detached from the equal opportunities to exercise these rights led to democracy in name only, emptiness, and without substance. In political life, once the power of money dominates, the power of the people shall be overpowered. This is why in developed capitalist countries, free and democratic elections, as they claim, may change government, but may not change the ruling power. So fucking true. You might change like from Trump to Biden, but really, can you change the ruling class? Can you challenge the position of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk? Behind the multi-party system, in fact, remain the dictatorship of capitalist cartels. As I said so many times earlier, the United States state is the oligarchy. Okay? yeah, freedom to get that flying yacht and crystal timeshare in the sky as the world burns. Colombia is protesting their government for over a month now. The U.S. deep state meme. um, they are people who are very powerful. I'm not sure they are really deep state or not, but the people who really run the U.S. right now are the fucking corporations. Not even doubt. We need a society. Continue. We need a society in which development is truly for humans, not for exploitation and dehumanization for the sake of profit. Bravo. We need economic development accompanied by social progress and equality, not an increase in the gap between the rich and the poor or greater social inequality. We need a society of compassion, solidarity, and mutual assistance towards progressive and humanistic values, not unfair competition where the weak are meat and the strong do eat. To satisfy the selfish interests of a few individuals and cliques. We need sustainable development in harmony with nature to secure clean living environment for present and future generations, instead of unlimited exploitation and possession of resources, unrestrained consumption, and destruction of the environment. And we need a political system where power truly belongs to the people, is enforced by the people and serves the people, not merely interests of the wealthy few. Such beautiful ideas are the true values of socialism, aren't they? And are they also the goal and the path that President Ho Chi Minh and our party and people had chosen? The path upon which we persevere, aren't they? As we all know, the Vietnamese people have undergone a long, arduous, and sacrifice-filled revolutionary struggle against colonialist and imperialist domination and invasion in order to defend our sacred nature, independence, and sovereignty, and for the freedom and happiness for our people, in the spirit of nothing is more precious than independence and freedom. This is a very famous quote of Ho Chi Minh. Nothing is more precious than independence and freedom. National independence associated with socialism is the fundamental guideline of Vietnam's revolution, and at the same time, the quintessence of the theoretical legacy of President Ho Chi Minh. Through his wealth of practical experience, combined with the revolutionary and scientific theories of Marxism-Leninism, Ho Chi Minh came to a profound conclusion that only socialism and communism may fully answer the question of national independence and bring about freedom, well-being, and happiness to everyone and every nation. Now, this is the debunked of the West anti-communist propaganda. People saying like Ho Chi Minh was a nationalist, not a communist, because they have quoted a quote from his article, The Path That Led Me to Leninism. Ho Chi Minh said, "At first it was patriotism, not yet communism, that start me from like and then from like step by step from the gradual and learning about Marxism-Leninism, I realized that there's socialism and communism is the only way for the oppressed people on earth, something like that." Capitalists, they have quoted, even like less than half quoted it. They only like they translated it as it was patriotism, not communism, that inspired me. And they use it as like proof that Ho Chi Minh was a nationalist, not communist. Like, that is that much of disinformation and lies and distortion that the propaganda, CIA propaganda outlet, like the RFI, like the Radio Free Asia, been telling you your whole life. Since its inception and throughout its revolutionary struggle, the Communist Party of Vietnam has always asserted that socialism is the goal and idea of the Communist Party and people of Vietnam, and that advancing towards socialism is an objective demand and the inevitable course of Vietnamese revolution. In 1930, in its political platform, the Communist Party of Vietnam stated its line of action to carry out a people's national democratic revolution under the leadership of the working class and advance towards socialism by passing the stage of capitalism. In the late 20th century, while a large part of the socialist realism in the world collapsed, the bloc of socialist states ceased to exist, and the socialist movement entered a period of crisis, decline, and hardship. The Communist Party of Vietnam continued to hold that our party and people are determined to build Vietnam on the path towards socialism on the basis of Marxism, Leninism, and Ho Chi Minh thought. Oh no, wait, I lost it on my end. Okay. At the 11th National Congress of the Communist Party, January 2011, in the platform of national construction in the period of transition to socialism, amended and further developed in 2011, once again we affirm that advancing to socialism is aspiration of our people and the correct choice of the Communist Party of Vietnam and President Ho Chi Minh, and is in line with the development trajectory of history. However, what is socialism and how shall we advance to socialism? That is the question we are always pondering, deliberating, investigating, and waging in order to gradually improve our guideline and viewpoint and organize for the implementation so as to both observe the general law and satisfy the political conditions of Vietnam. Yes, here's the thing. I always talk about this a lot in many of my videos too. Like, the path that Vietnam is walking on right now is unpredictable. We are just trying our best, and we are walking into a new period of time that none of the countries have been walking before us yet. We are the entrepreneur here, and we are facing new problems every single day. We will make mistakes. We did mistakes. We have been making mistakes, and we'll do it in the future as long as with the achievements. So we are walking step by step, learning every day, and be aware that we'll have mistakes and problems in the future. But we have to do it because we are laying to you, we are showing to you, and we are offering to you a lesson for your future society. If you want a revolution, look at Vietnam. I'm not saying that our path is perfect and we never did anything wrong. No, we did many things wrong along with many achievements and successful, okay? We just want you to look at us as who and what we really are. Learn from it. Avoid what we did wrong. Avoid making the same mistake. And also, if we did make some achievements, please learn from it too, how to have the same thing. It is so hard. Like, a lot of people watch my channel, watch my video in bad faith, and they have a very limited understanding about Vietnam. All they got is like the capitalist anti-communist indoctrination got fed to them their whole life. And they watched some of my videos and they thought that like I'm saying like Vietnam is perfect and I am persuaded you that Vietnam did nothing wrong or something like. No, I constantly tell you that Vietnam has many problems. And we're going to talk about that later too, the problems that Vietnam still have, and we have to fight against it. Just look at us and learn the lessons from it, because we are walking on a brand new path that no country has walked on it yet. We have nobody to learn from. We have to learn by ourselves only. And we are like the entrepreneur that will help you in the future society. So please, don't worship Vietnam. Also, don't shit on us. Okay, we are trying our best. We are doing our best, for better or worse. Just please, respect us, respect our choice. Give us criticism, but good faith criticism, constructive criticism, because the very least thing we need right now is another armchair leftist that knows nothing except some books that they've been reading. And then they criticize the actual people. Millions of people are walking on a brand new path. And we are the one who facing the threats and pressure every single day from capitalist countries, from the countries that you're living in and earning the wealth from us. So please, give us some time and maybe some hope, some trust. Meanwhile, spend your fucking time on building a movement in your own society. Because if you really care about Vietnamese people, you really care about poor people from the global south, the very best thing you can do is to educate yourself, raise class consciousness, and start a revolution in your own capitalist countries. Because your own countries, your own governments are putting pressure on countries like us every single day to kick us out of the path that we chose. The very least thing we need right now is your best faith criticism. Maybe it would make you feel better, because you worship purity. But no, stop thinking like that. Please, do something to help your own people. And leave us alone so we can walk on our own path and learn from us. Next path. During the years of đổi mới, based on the review of process and study of theory, the Communist Party of Vietnam has been gradually reaching a more complete and profound understanding of socialism and the transition into socialism. We have in stages and addressed simplistic ideas we held previously, such as homogenizing the end goal of socialism with the task currently at hand, one-sidedly stressing production relations and equal distribution without fully realizing the need to develop the productive force in the transition period, not recognizing the existence of other economic sectors, putting the market economy in the same basket as capitalism, and viewing the rule of law state as the same as a bourgeois state, just to name a few. Holy fuck, this is so true! Oh my gosh. Now, back to me a little bit. A lot of people, especially leftists, I have to say, because your whole life, the only one kind of thing that you've been experiencing is capitalism. You have a capitalist state. You have a capitalist police system. So you think that, again, you're like the frogs living in a well. And you look up to the sky, it's just as big as a plate. And you think that you know everything. That's the whole world of you. When I show you the society of Vietnam, the government of Vietnam and the police in Vietnam, you're like, holy fuck. Oh, I'm talking about the shitty anarchists too, here too. Hashtag not all anarchists are like this. So please don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the shitty anarchists. When I talk about the government of Vietnam, they're like, all states are bad. We should dismantle all kinds of states. And we're talking about police in Vietnam, like, ACAP, police are bad. We have to dismantle police, without listening to a different perspective, like from me, okay? Without listening in good faith, they immediately, put their mindset, they force their mindset on us. And that is why they call me statist. The bootlicker, state bootlicker, you know, and doing propaganda. It's very frustrating and annoying at the same time because those people, those frogs, living in their fucking well, refuse to learn the whole word, the big word out there, and they think that they know the best. Now, what's the difference between the state of the United States of America and state of Vietnam? Okay. The state of the U.S. is a fucking capitalist, neoliberalist state that serves the bourgeois class, serves the rich corporation. The genocidal kind of state that starts, 250 years ago, they start from massacre, killed thousands of indigenous people and they on the stolen land. That is the nature of the United States of the fucking America. But look back in Vietnam. Vietnamese people, we've been fighting invasion and wars for thousands of years. Okay? At first, we're fighting against the Chinese king for 1,000 years. Bunch of them. We're fighting for our independence and freedom. We are the oppressed people here. And we stood up. We fight against it. After China, we fought against the colonialist French for hundreds of years. And then the fascist Japan. And then the imperialist America. And then the fucking genocide of Pol Pot. Now, do you think that Vietnam and the U.S. are on the same page here? When the government of Vietnam right now, we had the revolution, the communist revolution in 1945. The communists took power and we are in charge. We have the government for the people, of the people. To prove to you, just look at what we've been dealing with, the pandemic, the COVID-19 compared to the US. You see so fucking well. And you putting the state of the USA on the same page as the fucking state of Vietnam? It's fucking insulting to me. Please have your mind open and listen and learn a little bit about the history, the state of the oppressive. It's totally different from the state of the oppressed. You have to think about that. And again, about anarchism and communism, I made a long Twitter thread about that too, where Marx actually wrote letters to Bakunin, okay, to explain. And Marx said like the most of the thing that anarchists hate about communism, about Marxism, is mostly misunderstanding. They criticize all states. They criticize all kind of unjust hierarchy without understanding that the state that we are having right now is a state formed by the people and for the profit, the benefits of the people. It's not like the state of the capitalist. It is very different. About the police too. Now, the police in the U.S., they started from slave hunters. They serve the bourgeois class. They protect the wealth of the bourgeois class, of the corporation, of rich people. Meanwhile, the police in Vietnam, actually we call them public security. The police is a small fraction of the public security that they only deal with like special serious crime. You barely see them on the street. Mostly the green uniform you see on the street, they are public security. The police of Vietnam started in 1945. They were a bunch of communists who joined the communist revolution, who followed Ho Chi Minh, and then they were chosen to be police. They are the police of the people, for the people. And if you look at a bunch of pictures of police that I show on Twitter too, like Vietnamese people, we are not afraid of police, of the public security. The police in Vietnam, they're helping people. They mostly even unarmed. So, those people in the West right now, I don't blame them 100% because of the amount of indoctrination and the anti-communist, the red scare propaganda they've been like receiving their whole life, and all they experience is the shittiness. How shitty the USA is, how shitty the police in the USA are. But in Vietnam, it's totally different. Even though maybe we call them by the same name, you know, but it doesn't mean that Vietnam should also abolish our police or abolish our government. And hey, don't you forget that even though we are communists, but we also plan on dismantling our own government in the future, because our end goal is a stateless and classless society. Hey, are you forgetting that? Look at what's going on right now. Again, so I have to say, lots and lots of people, I keep asking questions like, from the West mostly, like, is Vietnam socialist? Is China socialist? Should Vietnam should abolish state? Vietnam should abolish police? Blah blah blah. Like, well, if you're from the West, and especially if you're from capitalist countries like the US, UK, you know, even Brazil too, the very first thing you need to do is to fucking have your own revolution. We had that in 1945, okay? So don't tell us what to do. Go fix your own house first. Your house is fucking burning right now. Do something to fix it. And like, we will consider your criticism, your advices seriously once you have a successful revolution. For now, to us, you just look like a bunch of losers who cannot even start your own revolution. And like, you still have the nerve to tell us, the Vietnamese people, what to do. Even though we kick the asses of Chinese army, okay? Of France, of America, of fascist Japan, of Pol Pot. You serious? Are you serious? Like, I'm hot right now, you know? I'm really mad right now. I know much better than Ho Chi Minh sitting in the Death Star sipping a $10 latte. Man. Now continue the article. I just had a long rant. I'm sorry. As of today, did I read this? No, not yet. As of today, while the remain areas for further study, we have established an overarching, this new word for me. We have established an overarching understanding. The socialist society that the Vietnamese people are making all efforts to build is a society where the people are well off, the nation is strong, and the people are owners. A society characterized by democracy, equality, and civilization. It possesses a highly developed economy on the basis of a modern productive force and suitable and progressive production relations. It enjoys an advanced culture imbued with the national identity. Its people are entitled to well-being, freedom, and happiness, and are blessed with opportunities for comprehensive development. Ethnic groups in the Vietnamese community are equal, united, respectful, and supportive of each other to grow together. It has a rule of law socialist state of the people, by the people, and for the people, under the leadership of the Communist Party, and it maintains friendship and cooperation with all countries in the world. Now that's the goal that we are striving forward. Okay, the striving towards. That's our real goal. And again, under the leadership of the Communist Party, it doesn't mean like authoritarianism and dictatorship. I am editing the video about the electoral system of Vietnam, and I talk a little bit about our political system of Vietnam. And you will see that the Communist Party of Vietnam is just a small part of our political system. It is in charge of like the theory stuff, to make sure that the whole nation strives toward the Marxism, Leninism, communism, And it doesn't mean that it has like ultimate power over every fucking thing. Stay tuned. I'm gonna release a video in about 2 days. So please stay tuned. To achieve this goal, we must step up industrialization and modernization in conjunction with the development of a knowledge-based economy. We must also develop a socialist-oriented market economy. Again, do not think like the market is equal to capitalism. That is a very ding-dong argument. Please stop using that same mindset and argument. I'm gonna laugh at the face. Okay? Hey, build an advanced culture imbued with national identity, boost human resource development, improve the people's living standards, and exercise social progress and equality. We must safeguard national defense and security, public order and security. We must implement the foreign policy of independence, self-reliance, Juche Vietnamese style, this is a long word, multilateralization, I have a hard time with this word. Multilateralization. I've been talking for so long now, my tongue just betrayed me. Forget that word. And diversification for peace, friendship, cooperation, and development, and actively engage in the international integration. We must build a socialist democracy, harness the will and power of all nation unity in combination with the power of our team. We must build the socialist rule of law state of the people, by the people, and for the people. We must build an untarnished, strong party and polity in every respect. Okay. The further our party delves into practical guidance, the more we realize that the transition to socialism is a long-term and immensely challenging and complex task. For it must bring about profound qualitative changes across all fields of social life. As I said earlier, the path that we're walking right now is a brand new path. And we are the first one who walk on it, and we have to be really careful about this, and absolutely we will make mistakes. Vietnam embarked on its journey to socialism from its starting point as an underdeveloped agricultural country, bypassing the stakes of capitalism with a very limited productive force. The country was further weakened by the decades of wars resulting in severe devastation and by the constant subversive attempts of hostile forces. These factors have hindered Vietnam's path to socialism. As such, it unavoidably requires a protracted transition that involves various stages and forms of socio-economic organization, with a struggle between the old and the new. To say that Vietnam bypasses the stakes of capitalism, I mean the country bypasses a regime of oppression, inequality, and capitalist exploitation, and bypasses harmful practices and political institutions and arrangements unsuitable in a socialist system. It does not mean that we must reject the accomplishments and values of civilization that mankind has achieved throughout the development of capitalism. Naturally, these achievements must be selectively observed via the lens of the science and development. Now, you have any question about this part? I think he wrote it pretty clearly here. Like, if you watch my videos, you will know how much devastated Vietnam was in the wartime. Actually, we just gained the true peace, the real peace, in the last like 30 years. Until like 1989 when we fought Pol Pot, so like 30 years only in real peace. And the very last embargoes on Vietnam was lifted just about like 15 years ago. It's super short, and we are trying our best. And actually, what we've been achieved to this day is already very incredible. compared to where we started. And when we say like we bypass the stages of capitalism, as it said here, it doesn't mean that we neglect everything from capitalism. A lot of people said like we are revisionist, quote unquote, because of this. Those ultra lefts, like we have to like be pure. We have to have no trace of capitalism at all. We have to be like start absolutely from zero, from devastation, and like refuse everything from capitalism. Like, and if only then we consider like the real socialists here. Fuck that. Like again. It was very hard time. If you watch my interview with my mom too, the 2 videos, you understand why we had my reforms. It was not easy to have that choice. When we had to pay a lot of price, the high price for that part. And what we do right now is we believe that it's the best for our own nation. If you, dear the ultra left, if you really think that Vietnam is revisionist and we are the traitor of communism, okay, fine. Please start your own like revolution in your own country and work it on your own like strategies to see if only when you can do it. I will consider you're right and we are wrong. I'm sorry, but for now, there's no proof to you that way will actually work well or even hurt our people more. There's no way to know. So please prove us wrong. I'm waiting right here. I am happy that if we are wrong and you can do a better job. Seriously. So please start a revolution. Now next part. The concept of developing a socialist-oriented market economy is particularly fundamental and creative theoretical breakthrough of our party. It is an important theoretical achievement gleaned through 35 years of our implementing the đổi mới, stemming from Vietnam's praxis and selective absorption of experiences around the world. Our understanding is that a socialist-oriented market economy is a modern market economy well integrated with the world. It is an economy that operates fully and cohesively in line with the laws of market economy. It is regulated by the rule of law socialist state under the leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam. It upholds a socialist orientation towards the goal of an affluent people, prosperous nation, democratic, equitable, and advanced society. It is a new form of market economy in the history of this economic model. It is a mode of economic organization that abides by the laws of the market economy, but is also built on and guided by the principles and nature of socialism. This is reflected in all 3 aspects, namely ownership, organization, and governance and distribution. This is not a capitalist market economy and has yet to become a full-fledged socialist market economy, since our country is still undergoing the transition period. Okay. Remember this line, folks. The socialist-oriented market economy is not a capitalist market economy and has yet to become a full-fledged socialist market economy, since our country is still undergoing the transitional period. And I have to say, like, I don't know, people, especially people from the West, they love seeing the world in binary system. Black or white, good or bad, 1 or 0. They don't understand that the whole world. It's like a whole mass of gray areas. And from A to B, you need a transition period. You need the road to bring you from A to B, and we are on that road. It's not A yet. It's not A anymore, but it's also not B yet. We are on that path. So please recognize it. As I said many times in many of my videos too, In Vietnam society right now, there are capitalist factions and also socialist factions. Deal with it. Okay, we are in a transitional period, so deal with it. There's no like a button to push that and we go full communism. For fuck's sake, no, we can't. Even though if you're anarchist and you want to build a society, an anarchist society right after the revolution, hey, you're gonna need a transitional period too. If you seriously believe that, after the anarchist revolution, whoops, the society is absolutely become a full, perfect anarchist society. You're too naive. Read the theory again and put it in practice and think about it carefully. Analyze the condition, the material conditions of society. It's gonna have the transitional period, no matter what. Don't care whether you love it or hate it. You're gonna need a transitional period. It might not look like the transitional period in Vietnam right now. It's okay, but it's gonna be it. And in that transitional period, that's gonna be the faction of capitalism. It's gonna be the faction of anarchism, and deal with it. Okay, next part. A socialist-oriented market economy encompasses multiple forms of ownership and multiple economic sectors. Economic sectors operating in compliance with the law are important components of the economy. They are equal under the law in the interest of long-term development, cooperation, and healthy competition. In this system, the state economy plays a key role. The collective economy is constantly consolidated and developed. The private sector is an important engine of the economy. The FDI sector is encouraged to develop consistently with the socio-economic development strategies and plans. Distribution relations must ensure the fairness and create momentum for growth. Distribution is to be conducted primarily based on the labor outcomes, economic efficiency, and capital and resource contributions. It should also be implemented via the system of social security and welfare. The state regulates the economy via the law, strategy, plans, policies, and material resources so as to provide orientation to regulate and stimulate socio-economic development. That's how long is this article? Pretty long. Holy shit. I want to cut it short. I want you to, mostly after that, they are talking about the economy, you know, like here, the economy, the money we had, the capital income, kind of boring stuff. If you want to, I talk about a bunch of those in my videos too. So if you really want to talk about spend time, and I send you the link too. Here. Forgot. For the third time, I'm sending the link in the chat right now. Oh, no. Wrong link. It's here. Need this one, not that one. This link. Check it out. I have one more part that I really want to talk about is the problems that the Communist Party of Vietnam still have and we are dealing with right now. Should I find the word corruption? Here, this part. Here, I read the whole part for you. Yeah, like, consider this the very last article that we want to talk about today. Being deeply aware of the Communist Party's leadership is a factor that decides the success of the Doi reform and ensures our country's development in line with the socialist path. We pay special attention to party building and rectification.
This task is critical to the survival of the Communist Party and the socialist system. The Communist Party of Vietnam, I need to delete this thing. Okay. The Communist Party of Vietnam is the vanguard of the Vietnamese working class. The founding, existence, and development of the party aim to serve the interests of the working class, the working people, and the entire nation. As the party takes the helm and leads the nation, it is recognized by the whole people as the vanguard, and is accordingly the vanguard of both the working class and the mass of working people in the entire Vietnamese nation. This is not meant to downplay the class nature of the party, but rather to reflect a deeper and more complete understanding of this class nature, for the interest of the working class is aligned with that of the mass of working people and the entire nation. Our party perseveres with Marxism-Leninism and Ho Chi Minh thoughts as the foundation and lodestar for the revolution, and holds democratic centralism as a fundamental organizing principle. Now, my videos in the next few days are going to talk about this, democratic centralism and the political system of Vietnam. Please stay tuned. Where is it? The party asserts its leadership through its platform, strategies, and major guidelines and policy. In practice, these are translated into information dissemination, persuasion, mobilization, organization, inspection, oversight. The party also leads with party members, role models, and holds a unified leadership of personnel work. Here. As it understands that the risks to the ruling party are corruption, bureaucracy, degradation, particularly in market economy. The Communist Party of Vietnam requires regular self-improvement and self-rectification, and deems it necessary to constantly combat opportunism, individualism, corruption, bureaucracy, extravagance, and moral degradation within the party and the entire political system. So, believe it or not, we are aware that there is corruption, bureaucracy, degradation inside the party of Vietnam. And also Ho Chi Minh pushed really hard on the self-crit. And also in my video, I will show you about how Vietnamese criticize our government. Oh, again, I'm not saying that is perfect, because it is far from perfect. But it is very important to understand the real knowledge of what's going on right here. And do not just like you see some bad factors, you see some bad case of bureaucracy and corruption, and you think the whole system is like that. It needs like a very further investigation to understand this whole mess. Okay, so mostly it. Anything else? I'm reading the article real quick. Okay, I think this is the last article, the last paragraph. And it is of great importance to remain steadfast and firm on the foundation of Marxism-Leninism, the scientific and revolutionary doctrine of the working class and the working people. The scientific and uncompromising revolutionary nature of Marxism-Leninism and Ho Chi Minh thoughts are enduring values that have been pursued and implemented by generations of revolutionaries. This will continue to develop and prove its vitality in the reality of both the revolutionary movement and scientific development. We need to selectively accept and supplement the spirit of criticism and creativity of the latest ideological and scientific achievements, so that they shall forever be fresh and revitalized and filled with the breath of our attempts, thus not falling prey to dogmatism and obsoleteness. So that is it. We have about 7 minutes left. Let me check the chat to see if I missed any question. I talked so much now. Seriously? I have to go get my bucket. It's really annoying. Where's my I reload this. That is what I need. It's really annoying, I just want to check the donation if I to see I will not miss anything. But now it forced me to send the code to verify, and I don't have my phone with me right now. I hate this. Did the U.S. interfere with your guys' access to vaccine directly in Vietnam? Yeah, along with other countries too. Vaccine imperialism, is really bad because Vietnam, last year we've been dealing with the virus so well. So our country is not on the priority list. And so it is very hard for us to negotiate and buy vaccine. And there were so many times when we were about to receive a new it's like shipment of vaccine. Suddenly there's a new wave in that country, the home country of that vaccine. So they stop. And then there are a lot of time. There's a lot of time it sucks. You know that the COVID-19 vaccine, they have a really short expiration date, super short. And usually the companies that we order the vaccine, we book the vaccine, they send the shipment so fucking late that we only have a 1 or 2 months to inject those vaccine. And sometimes we had to refuse to take them too. And other countries like that too, the capitalist country fuck us up. The rich countries, they hold all the vaccine, and we only can get the vaccine with super short expiration date. And yeah, if we dare to take those vaccine, we need to do it really fucking fast, and very high chance that we're gonna waste a bunch of money because we cannot deliver it to our people in time. It is bad. Did Vietnam get the Sputnik vaccine? Vietnam and Russia, we are negotiating with each other. Russia already agreed to give Vietnam the technology to make the vaccine, the Sputnik one. Already agreed. So done with that part. But now we are working on the technique and the doctors to make the vaccine, because it's gonna take a few, 6 months. I work in this medical supplies field for a year, so I understand the procedure. It's actually pretty difficult. Once the Russia agree to give us the technology, we also have to offer them, the factories, labs, the hospitals that are equipped enough to make that vaccine. And also they have to test if our doctors have enough experience and knowledge to make that vaccine. And then if we lack anything of that, Russia will have to send us equipment, and also train our doctors, take out their scientists and doctors to train our doctors. So only after that we can make the vaccine by ourselves. It's gonna take a long time. It's only when I saw I forgot the name, the chromato kind of device, very expensive to analyze the substance. Yeah, it's gonna take months, 3 to 6 months for the foreign scientists to come to Vietnam and train the Vietnamese doctors how to use that kind of machine. Now, even the technique to make a brand new vaccine is hard. It's gonna take time. The Russian government and Dr. Reddy going to produce 100 million Sputnik vaccines by September. I hope that's true. I hope they can do it. Despite the fact that Russia and China are the two countries that exporting the most vaccine in the world. Capitalist country like the US, the UK, or Australia or New Zealand, I could be wrong, but a bunch of those. They are hoarding the vaccines right now, and they even have a more vaccine, 2 or 3 times more than their own population. And they refuse to release it to poor countries. They only agree to release it if like the expiration date is like very close. You're right. Capitalism makes money off human suffering. Just look at how the Western, they refuse to give people like national lockdown, to give people free treatment, free food, free shelter, free testing because of COVID-19 from the start. And that was why they lost their best chance to contain the virus, because a bunch of capitalists and corporations refuse to sacrifice a few months of their profit. That is why it's so fucked right now in the West. Profits over people, of course. Because those fucking rich bastards, they're gonna, if the pandemic is really bad and the whole world is going to collapse, it's just gonna like grab everything with the personal doctors and go to live in a bunkers or like in their own fucking island in the middle of nowhere and be fine their whole life. It is us who have to suffer here. We cannot escape, we have to suffer here. Any book about the political system in Vietnam that you can recommend? I heard you were just reading some book already. Sadly, I don't know any book about the political system in Vietnam that is written in English. That is good. I cannot recommend you because I don't know any. I'm making a video explaining the political system of Vietnam. I hope that it can help you. And the book that I'm translating right now, I done translating, I done editing, and now me and EJ will have to sit together and write down, what do you call it? I forgot the word. It's like the explanation, because like the book is super dense and full of really full of terms, super dense knowledge, and it should be like just a textbook. And there's gonna be lecturer up there to explain all the questions from us. Also, that book is written based on the fact that Vietnamese students been learning about those stuff for years in schools, primary school, secondary school, and high school. That is why it is a very advanced kind of knowledge thing. And because I know that many of you don't have that kind of education like us in Vietnam. So me and EJ have to sit together to write down all the explanation if necessary. And also it's funny, there's a very happy announcement too. I also asked a doctor, a professor, a Marxist-Leninist professor. He also teaches economy in university, Dr. Asataber, and he agreed to edit to read the final version and to be the co-editor to the book too. So I hope it's gonna be released in. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm sorry. The book is so hard, and we are trying our best. We're gonna be in a few weeks. I hope within a month. So sorry, it's so late, but I'm trying our best. I'm ready to chat, sorry. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's try. Okay, let's see. Wait a minute, comrades. I need this. I need this because I need to really make sure I didn't miss any super chat. I'm back. Just want to make sure. Hey, yeah. Really annoying. I hate this. Now waiting for the. Hmm. I love hanging out with these commies. Haha. Me too. I love hanging out with all of like awesome, kind commies out there. Okay. Ooh, we are way over time, I guess. Thank you so much for being here with me. And again, I will send you the link to the article if you want to read it full. Here. Also, if you Nguyễn Phú Trọng, our former resident, he also wrote some books about Vietnam. They got translated to English, I believe. And if you can try find that on Google. For now, I cannot find any of those, but try his name. You know his name, and then like maybe you can see something from the internet. I saw some books that he's reading about socialism, Marxist-Leninist theories, and Vietnam too. So please check him out. He's cool. I like him. Thank you everybody for bearing with me in this Mooncast. I need to grab some lunch right now. I'm so hungry. The world is still a shitty place out there. So please stay safe, but stay strong. Educate yourself, and I love you all. But some of you act like shows or something. So except those shows, I love most of you in the chat. Bye, everybody. Oh, should I find a way to rate somebody? It's a real challenge for me now. Luna the Boomer. Will she know how to rate somebody all by herself? Teach. Alright. What do I do? Okay, I go here. Right. And then I go to rate. And then the goat and the goblin. Streaming. So please, if you're on Twitch, please support our chorus here, the goat and the goblin. Now, bye everybody. Love you. If you're YouTube people, if you want to continue watching live stream, please go on Twitch. Go to Twitch and find the goat and the goblin, the Horizon Zero Dawn stream. Bye everybody. Love you all. Oh shit, I still have 7 seconds. 6. Bye. Yeah. Okay. Now, YouTube people. Bye bye. I love you all. Some of you chose. I love most of you. Bye.